All right, so a little unscheduled, but we're going to. I was gonna take the night off because. What's up, guys? How are you, man? I was gonna take the night off, but I did recorded some Skyrim for tomorrow, and I really wanted to get back to this game to sort of finish it out, I think. And so I was like, I couldn't. It was, will he, won't he kind of thing. And finally I said, well, let's just play the damn game. And if I'm going to play this game, I'm probably going to do it and stream it and hang out with you folks. So here I am. So we have the Rogue, Knight, and Sorceress are still Rogue, Knight, and Sorceress still here. I think. What do we got? I think the rogue is definitely winning. The knight is definitely in last place. The sorceress is behind by like a point. Um, so not terrible. And we're on day 14. So it is, I think, day 15, but I'm not 1,000% sure. So let's pretend that it is, and we will start the game here. So the rogue is first. We get the knight and the sorceress. So the rogue was trying to get up to where giants are because he has a mission to kill giants. And these bandits appeared and sort of got in the way. I almost think he can take them. I, I don't know for sure, but I almost think he can. With his crap, he gets a free cube here. With the the tiara of the gladiator. Yeah, that's he goes to a pageant, he kills someone, it's a whole thing. With the Talaria of the gladiator, he has a cube in an existing maneuver speed box. So he already has that. He can play 2 cubes up here, so that's 2 damage plus, so 2 star. That leaves him potentially up to 4 more cubes. So he can play 3 here and 1 here. Or he could play a couple up, right? He can do. I think he might be able to do this. Now, he's not going to auto hit these guys. These guys, he just needs to play 2 speed to avoid being auto hit by them. And that guy's the fast guy, the dangerous guy right there. He's going to do a little bit more damage there, a little bit more wounding. But we would kill maybe he would probably kill the executioner first, since the executioner has the option, the ability to wipe out his armor pretty quick. I mean, the bandit leader has a little bit, but again, he only has to play. So let me look at this real quick before I make this final decision. I'm going to copy one of these cubes and put it, because it would go here automatically, but it does not count against his 6, because he would alert before doing it. So he would play 2 here. This would be his play. 2 there. He only needs 1 to hit the executioner. So 1, 2, 3. And then he plays 4, 5, and 6. So a total of 7 cubes, but one of them is free for this one. So 4, 5, 6, 7 with the freebie. There you go. I will turn the freebie, right? So he has 4, well, he doesn't even need that many, because he only needs how many? He only needs 3, right, to dodge everybody. So he puts that there. And that's his play for the first round. He kills the executioner before the executioner can hit him. Done. Then he has to weather this attack. The second round, depends on how they fall the first round, I think. Now, don't get me wrong, weathering 3 attacks is nasty. And so, I mean, that's, that is what it is. And again, Man. So I tell you what we're going to do. We are going to sneak and alert for sure. Then we're going to move in. So as soon as that happens, oh, and I do miss Magic Realm's snap points on all of these that just totally pile these up like magic. So as soon as he walks in there, of course, he has to roll on the hide table or the hide dice, and that might force his hand anyway. If he rolls 2 sound markers, yep, there's one, and he's still hidden, so he is done. So now he has the option, literally, to move right on through. I don't think the Giants give him as much as a hassle because it depends on how many show up. You know what I mean? That's the killer. If like 3 Giants show up, yeah, that's a pain in the ass. If one shows up, then he's good to go. I think he kills it because I think he can one shot that guy. Um, so I'm gonna say just for now, we play it safe and we move through, with the caveat that we go and we try to find these giants, because that is a mission. So let's try to make the mission work first. We can come back and kill those guys unless someone else does it. And so then we move again and we are done with the day. It is the knight's turn. The knight has to go kill treants. So it's not like he's not doing the same thing here. He does not need to heal anything. He's a little bit behind everywhere else. So I do wonder if the knight can take out the Death Knight with his 4 armored hit points there. He's certainly not going to do it in one shot. Certainly not going to do it in one shot. And he does not. I don't think you can dual wield in the game. I just have these 2 out. He does have the option though, if he wants to. Like the dagger is, unless he needs to do 3 points of damage to an armored character, which he can. The dagger is absolutely better because it does the 3 with less effort. But armored targets, of course, are hard. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to trade our last. Well, it's not our last move. So we move 3 times. We get a free move because we're in a dwelling. So I'm going to trade with whoever's there, the scholar, and just see what he has. I always forget anyway. He has Garb of the Gate, Alchemist Mixture, Subdue Any Native, which he's not going to do, the Mithril Armor, which he could not buy, Short Sword, Long Sword, Battle Axe, Magic-y Bits. Potion of Energy doesn't suck, by the way. The Belt of Expansion doesn't absolutely suck either, but I don't know that it helps him. I have not yet found more than 3 of these. I've not yet found 3 of these tools. Oh, and I do have to look at his. He should have 4 missions too, and if he doesn't, I have to redraw them because 1, 2. No, he does. They're all like evil missions. No. I'll take the clothing while I'm here, and he has to bring that clothing to the. He's at the keep, so he has to bring it to the mine. So I don't think he wants anything from that dude. The quick ring is what? An extra cube there. Yeah. You can't play it beyond the limit, but he does have 2 slots to put things. So that's his freebie. And Well, I mean, presumably I made that one big. Those ones bigger. And then, so the question is, does he move forward? Nah, because he would have to. So he traded. So nah, he's just gonna sit. He's gonna sit there. That's fine. Um, I don't want to go in without sneaking. Again, I think he has less of a chance at the bandits. Although he does have two pieces of armor also. But my guess is he has less of a chance at the bandits than the rogue, strangely enough. Because the rogue is about as well armored. Crappier armor, but that Shield of Defiance is pretty good. And this Teleria of the Gladiator is pretty good. But we're going to wait. The Sorceress, her last person here, she needs to rest up. So she's going to rest 3 actions, and that's going to give her her cubes back. Now, you would think. So here's the one thing I've noticed, and people are like, "Oh man, and that shapeshift spell is overwhelmingly, overpowerful." Now, it does give you free fireball and free flight. So it is very, but man, this dragon is not as tough as you think it is, because that guy kills her. That guy doesn't. He just wounds. Everybody wounds her. Like in one round, you could be cut down. And they don't have a terrible chance to hit. They have a terrible chance to hit on this side, but not on that side. Now, round 1, she might nuke everybody. But again, I think you're in for a rough haul. Like, that's one where if I'm a player and I'm playing with other people, I look over at the knight player or the rogue player and says, "You want to clear this space with me?" And they go, "Yes, let's do it." And then you go in and you clear the space. Which is what maybe that's what we do, right? Maybe all the players go, "Okay, you know what?" And or maybe, and so I would say that the sorceress and the rogue will do that. But or not the sorceress and the rogue. The sorceress and the knight do that. Does the rogue do it? Hoping to make sure he made, like, does he go, I don't want to give a bunch of fame to the sorceress, so I'll go in also knowing that, right? Does he sort of get in on that deal, as it were? We do have to roll, even though 2 of them are stuck at the keep. And we get treants. Well, we don't. We get nothing. Swamp and carrion. And that's nothing here. And nothing here. So, do we think the rogue jumps in or not with them? Is it 3 on 4? The entirety of the hero population of the realm goes and kicks the shit out of these bandits? Or does the rogue try to slink away, hoping that these guys get capped or stopped by the bandit menace? Obviously, the 3 on 4, the heroes win instantly. That is not even an issue. The sorceress is first, then the rogue, and then the knight. So what the sorceress is going to do, she is going to sneak, absolutely. She's going to alert. She's going to, well, that night she would burn, she would wound the cube to alert this the next day, effectively. I sort of feel that, yeah, that's yeah, I don't know how I feel with that. Anyway, but that's what she does. And then she's going to move in. So she is at least hidden. I don't know if there's anything else she should be doing, because she's not going to cast spells in combat. She is just going to fireball the hell out of these guys in combat. So she sneaks and she does the deed and walks and walks. Now the question is, does she have 2 moves? No, she does not have 2 more moves left. So she has to do one or the other. I'm going to say she doesn't sneak. She just alerts. Wait, so how does she need to alert? She doesn't need to alert because she's going to be a dragon. So she's just going to sneak. Like she's not going to be using her own cube. So there's no playing 2 cubes or 3 cubes. It's literally just I'm a dragon. Suck it. Right? Fire. Eat this fireball. So that's what she's doing. And she moves in there. Now she has to roll. And she is snuck. So she is still hidden at the moment. I assume she can ambush as a dragon. I maybe can she? Because she has a ranged attack. That's an odd bird. I don't know yet, and so on. What do you think, Gus? Does the rogue go in? Does he slide in? Does he hope to, or does he leave it blocked? I say we do it for the spectacle of having every character in the fight, even though it's going to be a little bit shitty to adjudicate. So he's going to sneak and then alert and then move in. And then he has to roll a hide to see if he is hidden or unhidden. And he is hidden also. Because you want to be hidden because you don't know if something else shows up. That would suck. The knight, sneaking and alerting. Why? Well, because, and then moving. Sneak, alert, move. Done. And he is either hidden or not hidden. And he is also hidden. So no one is blocked. Everyone is hidden. They have all moved in. We roll for the monsters. We are looking to avoid. Oh, it's orcs. Orcs appear. 3 of them. Wow, that changes that fight considerably. So 3 orcs appear. I'll randomize the orcs. 1, 2, and 3. Wow. A little scary. We got a sword orc, a bow orc, and the orc lord appear with the bandits. All of a sudden, there are 7 creatures in there. Ooh, it gets super dicey. But, I mean, that makes this all the more. I mean, it could be a short stream. Ah, I say we're going to do it. I mean, we sort of have to do this, right? Don't we have? We have to do this. I just have to figure out how we are going to adjudicate this. I almost wish you could make a mini table somewhere in tabletop sim, like almost make an aside, like a dialogue box. So I don't know how I feel about this. I think it just turned crazy. It might have turned crazy epic. I think. But let me look up ambushing real quick to make sure I'm not because she might stay hidden and just nuke them. Heroes armed with a ranged weapon casting a range attack spell. Although he's a dragon, so ambushing's a little wonky. Let's say let's assume for giggles that guy's the most dangerous dude on the battlefield here. Oh, maybe this guy is more dangerous. Yeah, I would almost. He just faster, more damage, more faster and more armor, more health, etc. Let's say she can't. I mean, she's a dragon. That's a little right. I don't know. Um, I mean, technically, she could be hidden, but Let's take a quick look. Hmm. I don't know. It's a good question. I think we're gonna do it. Yeah, I think we all go out for giggles. I think that's the fun way to do it. If a bunch of if a lot of heroes end up dead, well, I can start a new game. I can just go with that. Let's see what happens. Oy vey. Okay, this is a little bit nuts, right? Um, tell you what, I'm gonna copy these and I'm gonna put these back again. I really wish we'd have snaps on the individual clearings to easily make a pile because that's one of the nice things. I mean, I suppose I could make a snap point for crying out loud. So what I'm going to do is would love that middle space, but I don't like the word. So I'll just put them here. Boom. Okay. So everybody is going to get a target here. We all step up to challenge the enemies. Everyone gets a target. So we're just going to go in order. Well, orcs showed up too. So yes, we got everybody. So we're going to go in order. 1, 2 is the rogue. 3, 4 is the knight. 5, 6 is our wayward sorceress. So the sorceress is actually, I feel, the most in danger because I actually don't think the adult dragon though is sturdy enough. And I don't know that any of the like I have to look at these really closely. I don't think that any of these monsters are that tanky. Like 3 armored does not mean what it means in Magic Realm. Like tremendous armored creature, there's only a rare number of other creatures that can kill a tremendous armored creature, whereas a lot of things do 3 damage in here. You know, 2 guys right there, he does it if you flip. Like there's a whole bunch of dudes that do that damage. So let's roll and we'll assign all these to somebody. So first character goes to the sorceress. That is bad for her. Next, 6 to the sorceress. Uh-oh. she, she's dead. To the knight. To the sorceress. To the damn sorceress again. Oh, jeez. To the knight. Oh, the rogue is lucking out here. To the sorceress. She is dead. She's dead. I don't think she can handle 5 of these at all. So we challenge, right? Um, I mean, she could dink with both of them and evade. I don't know if she can evade. I think she might because I don't think I think she's flying. Um, but we'll see. It's in here somewhere. Like, come on, give me nope, nope. Give me control. No, control F doesn't. There we go. Flying, 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 flying. No, I thought there was something about flying with regards to evading. That's Fiery Chasm. No, I do not see anything. Okay, well, so be it. She's not getting out of this one. Oh, the Wi-Fi cut out for the past 10 minutes. So the orc showed up with the bandits. All three heroes I decided we'd pile in. Then the orc showed up. I figured 3 on 7, that's pretty good odds. But the poor sorceress is just getting gang tackled by these guys. Like she is in a rough way for sure. So speed wise, these guys are twos. Their attacks are max 2. That's not the worst. She can definitely fireball. I think she might have to fireball in hopes of, winning that, right? I mean, she can dodge better without it, but I think she has to fireball otherwise. So everybody's going to play. Everybody has to target someone now. Um, so the rogue's going to, so he's unattacked. No one showed up on the rogue sheet at all. So he doesn't need to play any of these. And he is alerted. So he can play 1, 2. He can play 3 of these. And he's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to attack pretty quick. And he might hit someone. I say that he goes for the executioner. So he's going to target the executioner. That's his target. The knight, I mean, he's going to target whoever's targeting him. And I think the sword orc is going to be the most dangerous of those characters. See, there's snap points where I don't want them. Oh, because it's spells. I get that. Okay. So he's going to target the sword orc, I think, because no, I think the sword orc is the more dangerous of the characters, right? And given who's on him, so the sword orc has 2+ armor. So he could literally use the dagger of bite and do 2 damage because the dagger of bite with 1 chip does 3 damage, but one of those will be erased by his armor. Now he's also alerted. So all he has to do to guarantee a hit is 1, 2, 3 attack speed. And he'll guarantee a hit on that sword orc and kill him. Now the assassin, well, I mean the assassin at that point may or may not hit him. He'll put 1 in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, just I'm continuing the game pretty much. And what happened is we ended up everyone piling in on these bandits, and then the orcs also showed up. So now there's 7 on 3, and I think the sorceress is dead. I think she literally rolled. Everyone attacked her because she was dragoned up. So I think the knight attacks him. I think he kills him. He takes the bandit hit if he takes it. Um, and the fun and I think that's it. And now the sorceress is going to flip to the fireball, and she's going to target, I think, everybody. 4 different targets. Okay, she cannot target everybody. So let's copy this bad boy, and let's prioritize. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold on, let's shrink these. Can I shrink these? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's see who we prioritize here. So she's pretty sure he's dead because the rogue's targeting. This guy is the biggest danger to her right now. So I think he gets a target chip. So that's one. And then at that point, I think at that point she's gonna hit these guys and she's gonna let the rogue kill that guy. And she's 2 and 2 and she's fireballing. So, okay. Hold the hell on. So, let's roll some dice. First thing is, everybody gets a shot to flip. Let's see who flips and who doesn't flip. Bandit Assassin flips. Sword Orc doesn't flip. Bow Guy flips. Orc Lord does not flip. Bandit Leader does not flip. Bandit Executioner does not flip. And Cutthroat does not flip. So that is the layout and the setup for these guys. So let's adjudicate the attacks. So we're not using any optional rules still at this point. So the attacks go in order of attack speed. I believe the rogue and the knight are the fastest attack speeds here. And so they're going to go first, but the rogue is attacking with decimation. So he's going to go first because that is a slightly longer weapon than the knight decided to pull the dagger of bite instead. So the rogue goes first with a 3 attack speed. 3 attack speed is going to beat the maneuver speed of the executioner, which is 0. So he hits. He takes a sharpness star off the damage, but he does 2 and sharp. Oops. Oh, geez. Sorry. Let's get that back. He does 2 sharp. That reduces to 2 damage, and that kills the executioner. So the executioner is dead, and the rogue gets that kill. Done. So that saves her from instant death this round. The knight is second. The knight has a 3 attack speed. He hits the sword orc because the sword orc has 1 defense. He has 3 attack. That beats it. So he hits. He does 1 star, right? 1 sharp. So that's 1 sharp because we reduce it by 1 because of the armor. That is 2 damage. That's going to kill the sword orc. And so he becomes the victim of the knight. And that is all the 3 attack speeds that we have here. Let's see. Do we have anyone else as a 3? No. So the knight's attack is done. Oh, wait, we do have a 3 attack speed. I am sorry. So 3 attack speed over here because the assassin flipped. So the assassin flips. So he has a 3 attack speed. He's going to beat the knight's defense speed. And he's going to hit the knight for 1 damage, 1 sharp. I'm going to say that the knight will take it on the breastplate. I don't think it matters. That reduces the sharpness down to 1 damage. The breastplate is fine. It's not harmed, but the knight has to wound a single cube. And he's going to take one of the red cubes because I don't think he needs to overstrength his weapon. I will probably let's see. Does he need to overstrength his weapon to kill anybody else? That guy, the Orc Lord, would be the only one that requires the extra strength on the weapon. So his options are to take a brown cube, a red cube, or a pink cube. Pink cube reduces his health, which makes him easier to kill. He does have armor, though. So as long as his armor is intact, the pink cubes are fine. So he's going to, he's going to drop the pink cube, and he's going to keep his options open as far as the fight goes. So the assassin effectively just gives him a little nick and wounds him, maybe under the chain, I'm narrating now the battle like you would in a D&D fight. So he hits, done. So that's my 3 attacks. Now we're down to 2 attacks, which is the bow and the fireball. But the fireball goes off first because it is longer. So, okay. So let's attack everybody with this fireball. So first, we'll attack the bow guy with the fireball. It hits him, and the reason it hits him is because his defense has become 1. Her attack speed is 2. That's an auto hit. So now she does have to roll. It is doing, if you notice, so it's a fireball, so it's 2 sharp. So that's 3 damage, but reduced by armor. So let's see how much damage she actually does, because she has to roll on the ranged table. Take the worst die, which is -1. So it does 1 sharp damage to the orc. That's reduced to 1 damage to the orc, but that still kills the bow orc because he only has a single hit point. So he is dead, and he goes into her pile. Next, she is now so that cancels his attack because he's just slower than her with his range. So he's drawing back, she fireballs, and it happens to nuke him. Now, the only problem she has now is she doesn't auto-hit anybody now. Now she has to roll to hit all these guys because their defenses are higher than her attacks. So it is possible that she's hit 3 times and killed, even as the dragon. But let's see if she can kill somebody. If she can kill any one of these 3, then there's no way for her to die because none of them this round can get through all of her armor. They can only wound her. So, first thing, against the Orc Lord, she has to roll. Where's my 2 hit dice there, Skippy? I don't know. Did I delete the 2 hit dice somehow? Maybe. The answer to that is maybe. Maybe I did, and maybe I didn't. And I'm not sure how all these dice, there's dice everywhere. What have I been doing? How did I get here? So there we go. We're going to need some 2 hit dice. Now, since her attack speed 2 is lower than 3, she only hits on double hits. So 25% chance or thereabouts, she misses. So he is going to hit her back here in a bit. The bandit leader, she hits on any symbols, hits or equals, because she equals his defense. That's a miss. Ooh, bad luck. And the cutthroat, oh, god damn, what is with this? Okay, so a couple things. Let's move these way up, because I'm a little tired with fussing with these. Okay. Now she just hit the cutthroat. She needs 2 hits. She needs two hit symbols. No, and she misses. So that fireball misses all 3 of these guys, and she is now done with her attacks. But these guys are going to hit back now. Now, they are all slower than her, and they only hit on 2 hit symbols. So the Orc Lord goes first. He misses. The Bandit Leader goes second. He misses because his attack speed 1 is lower than her defense speed of 2. Not equal. If they were equal, if it was 2-2, he hits her, but he misses also. And then the Cutthroat misses. So that was a good round for the Sorceress. She did not. I was actually worried for her because that could have become a mess real quick. Yeah, I don't like these counters at all. It's definitely one where I would just like a notepad. Next time I play, I'm going to do what I do for Magic Realm, and I'm going to put just a banner across the bottom of my screen and just keep tabs on the characters there and delete those counters because I don't love them. It's not nothing against them. It's just that I need the space. They probably work great if you're just playing sort of by the book, but I added another thing there, and they get in each other's way real heavy. So that is the end of the combat round. End of the combat round. So we got 3 bandits dead. One of our heroes took a wound, but otherwise, oops, he's on this side. Sorry, but otherwise we're good to go. And now they guys will attack other characters. They can switch in the middle of the fight, round to round. So 1, 2 is the rogue, 3, 4 is the knight, 5, 6 is back to our sorceress. 5. This dice is loaded, for God's sake. So that's he keeps attacking the dragon. That goes to the knight, the bandit leader, the orc lord swaps to the rogue. He looks at the rogue and he's like, "Nah, I got you." And then the assassin goes after the sorceress. I think this is one. I think you're right, Gus. I think this guy that lucked out. Like I said, the sorceress could have got gutted. And in fact, I was super worried about. I mean, I let's say I cheated, but killing the executioner was key, and the rogue could do that in a heartbeat. So he sort of saves her. Now, having said that, I think she killed him anyway. I think she would have, but it's not a guarantee because she has to roll the range dice, and so her damage could have dropped, and then he gets a shot. So anyway, so now we have our new rounds. So let's see how we play our cubes now that we have our new rounds going here. So he has to play if he can. So now here's the thing. So here is the funny part now. So the sort of dicey part here is, so remember this cube is free because of the boot the talaria, the boots of the gladiator. So he can beat he doesn't guarantee to beat his speed. He can beat his he can out defense his attack time because his best attack time is 2. So he could play 3 just like that down below. So he could defend with 3 cubes. He could attack with don't know how many. We'll think about this. And frankly, he can't kill him in one shot because he doesn't have enough. He only has enough muscle to do 2 damage versus 3. This is actually the worst fight for the rogue here, pretty much. So well, first things first. We got a target, but the rogue is. So the rogue has the choice to suck this up around, to sort of just go, I'm good, and take the hit. And this guy can bust up one of his pieces of armor for sure, and do a wound, but it's not going to kill him in one shot because of the armor. So he could go and try to sneak fame points away from the others by killing these dudes. Or you try to defend yourself against this guy. Like, for instance, like the bandit leader, he can kill the bandit leader, potentially. If he targets the bandit leader. All he wants to do is not be auto-hit by this guy. So if he plays 3 down there, and 2 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And he has these 3 cubes. He can still play 3 cubes here because, and he's so he's playing 6 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's 7 cubes. That's too many, sir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the extra cube is from his boots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Could he auto hit anyone with 2? Well, it really depends on the flip. So if he wants to try to kill this guy, he's the best guy to try to kill because he only has a 1/3 chance of flipping. Otherwise, he can wound the orc, but he's not going to kill the orc lord. Having said that, if the orc lord is targeted by... So he's going to target the orc lord. Done. He's going to target the Orc Lord. If the Orc Lord flips, so he only has to play 2 cubes there. Because if the Orc Lord flips, he's going to swap to there and will attack first. We're going to go with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cubes. 7th cube is free. The Knight. I mean, the Knight's going to face off against the Bandit Leader. That makes a lot of sense. And the Knight is going to totally auto-hit this Bandit Leader and kill him no matter what, I believe, because he's going to use this supremely quick and sharp dagger. And the dagger does 1 star star, so one sharp sharp, which is going to be 2 points against armor. So that's how we're going to play the Knight. The Sorceress, well, I mean, she's going to do exactly what she did last time because she, once again, is taking the brunt of the attacks. Plus, she wants to get a shot, and maybe she caps all these dudes anyway. Now, this is a little cheesy, too, because, again, she's actually going to help this guy. But that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay. I think that's the combat round. So, now what we do is we roll to see who flips and who doesn't flip. So, first guy is the Orc Lord. Does the Orc Lord flip? No. Second guy, does the Bandit Leader flip? No. Does the Bandit Cutthroat flip? No. And the Assassin? No. So no one flips on the bad guy's side. So now we're back to who goes when. We have a 3 attack here. We have a 3 attack speed here. And a 3 attack speed down here. The first attack to go off, I believe, is the Knight. The 3, nope, not the Knight. It's the 3 Decimation, this sword. So, not great for the Rogue yet because he did not. I forgot that What's-Her-Face is going to go after him. That's fine. This guy didn't flip. If he flipped, it was an auto hit. And so I thought we were in good shape there. But he does not flip. So it's not an auto hit. We are equal to his defense. So we hit on any symbol. No, darn it. So we need 2 of anything. Like, right? We needed that or, or that. But we didn't get that. So that's a miss. And so we are done with that attack. Next. I think it's the Knight. The Knight's turn. The Knight's attacking with his nasty little dagger. And he, with 3 attack speed, beats the Bandit Leader's defense. So that's going to hit. It's going to do 1 sharp sharp, which reduces to 1 sharp, which is 2 points of damage against the armor. That's going to kill the Bandit Leader. And that's the second kill for the Knight. Nigget, not the evening. Now it's the Assassin's turn, and the Assassin auto hits her, which sort of sucks. It does 1 sharp, which reduces to 1 damage, which is going to wound our dragon. Oops, that's where all these dice start coming from, because I accidentally have them selected. So she is wounded. She only has 2 health now. So an attack that does 2 damage will kill this dragon. Now the fireball goes off, right? Because it's all we got left. Oh, well, this guy, nope, fireball goes off. It is the next attack to hit. So, let's do the auto hit. She auto hits him. He is slow and stealthing or whatever, and she turns and breathes fire, and she does 2 sharp damage to him, which reduces by 2. So it's just sharp. He's not armored. If he's armored, he lives, but he's not armored, so he dies. And she gets her second kill of the battle. Next, she does not auto hit him. She needs 2 hit markers. She gets none and she misses. Now we're going to go over here. And we need, again, 2 hit markers. And she does not get them. She misses. So that's that. And now well, we might as well keep these dice because now the orc's going to go beat on our rogue. But he is slow, so he needs 2 hit markers, not an equals, but he needs 2 honest to goodness hit markers, and he misses. So again, we are done with that round. That is the second round. This is the third round. We're down to 2 combatants. The first combatant will target the sorceress again. He turns. You dare breathe on me? Your breath is terrible. And the sorceress, Jesus, she's taken, what? 3/4 of the attacks, right? She has easily taken 3/4 of the attacks. So I think the rogue is going to get, let's see here. So not having to play any defense doesn't really help him because he's only as fast as a 3 anyway. So I think he targets. So she either is not a good attack or it's him and he can't kill him in a round. I sort of think that this is where he goes, yeah, you know what? You're in second place. I'm going to dink with you. He just goes for the cutthroat, hoping to get the extra kill and the extra fame. The knight can't help himself. He's going to go after the big guy, right? The lord. And here's the thing. He can kill him like this. So now he's going to swap to the main hand and do 3 sharp damage, which reduces to 3. So he can kill this guy. And if this guy flips, he's going to kill him. So he's going to go for that because killing the orc lord, that's something a knight can be proud of there. And that's going to get him 12 fame, and he needs the points. She's a little concerned for her hide. She only has 2 health. This dude cannot kill her in 1 round. Oh, yes, he can. Okay, then. Well, that sucks a bit now, doesn't it? I was considering going after just 1, but man, I suppose we're gonna try her. I don't know what is best to do. It's either go after this guy all out, trying to kill him, or go after both of these guys and do a little bit less damage. But you're just probably still likely to kill this dude, but way less likely to kill that dude. So let's just go for it and see what happens. And like I said, everybody can all die, and we could. But I think we're playing just like this. I think this is how we play this. So let's see if people flip or not flip. Not flip is the Orc Lord is staying where he's at, and this Cutthroat flips to the dangerous side for our Dragon Lady. So let's adjudicate the fight now. First, we have Decimation 3. It is the longest speed 3 weapon here. So it's going to go first. It's going to hit her and kill her because he has a 3 attack speed versus her 2 defense speed. That's an auto hit. He kills the Cutthroat, and so takes that risk off of her and nets himself 8 more fame. So the rogue is done. This guy is next, the knight. And the knight is going to have to roll a 2-hit check, though, against our orc. And that is an equal attack speed ties his defense speed. So he hits on symbols, but he misses. Man, I have not rolled a 2-hit roll at all here. That is the 3 attack speeds. Now it's the 2 attack speed. There's only one guy left, and that is, and she should have just selected one target, unfortunately, because he's dead now. She's gonna breathe. She does have to hit him. She needs 2 hit symbols. She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. She does not get it. She gets it equals, and that's not enough. And the orc lives one more round to take a shot at the sorceress, and he can kill her. He kills her right now if he hits, which sort of sucks for her. And he does not, because he only gets the equal. Done. Whew, okay. That would kill her. That's not okay. Stop that dice. Okay. This got to be the last round, right? I mean, they're going to hit this guy sooner or later. He literally is standing up against everybody all the time. He's taken, breath weapons he attacks the rogue. He's like, yeah, you know what, dude? I don't think so. He switches back and forth between the rogue. And obviously everybody's going to target him. So we're not going to put targeting chips down. Everybody targets the guy on this dude here. How does the rogue play? Well, I mean, if he flips, he's going to get gang tackled by everybody. So the rogue is equal. I think he plays 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like that, and that's what he plays. And because the knight obviously goes all out attack, because if he can hit, he can kill it. And she obviously is going to play 1 target, so she's going to do the extra damage. The rogue is a little bit salty because there's no way he kills it this round, and he's first. So someone else is going to get this kill. Do you have to choose the targets of your spell before you? Yes, you do. You have to choose. Targeting is before sort of adjudication, right? So she had to target thinking there were 2 targets on her and put her target down. And you indeed, I think you choose your target before you play your cubes even. Yeah, you choose your target before you lay cubes down or before anybody lays cubes down. So you have no idea what everybody's going to play. Now, obviously, if you're working in conjunction, I suppose you could talk about it. But if you were trying to steal kills or something, or trying to attack another player, then everyone would play behind a screen and then show at the last moment. Now, your targets, I don't think that everybody knows. And you have to go in order. Heroes and monsters choose a target in player order. So in other words, in order of the who moved first and so on. So once again, the rogue is first. He does need to roll. Oh, wait. Nope, stop. Hold on. I think we have to roll this first. So hold on. Does he flip? We didn't do that yet. So does he flip or not? He does not flip. So now we roll the rogue's attack. He needs 2 hit markers, and he gets 2 hit markers. So the rogue's going to hit him for 2 sharp, which is only 2, which isn't enough. And it just wounds him instead of anything else. So he has a wound on him now. And that's great. But what that does, unfortunately for the rogue, is it leads up now, and the knight is going to wind up and try to kill this guy. But he misses. And the dragon's going to try to kill this guy. But she is only a 2 attack, so she has to get 2 hit markers, and she does. So the dragon breath finally catches this dude full in the face. And the question is, now it's 2 sharp. So if she can get anything, it doesn't reduce it. She does plus 2 damage. So she does 4 sharp damage, which is 5 damage, effectively. She kills the Orc Lord, and she gets the chip. which I feel is fitting because she took the brunt of the attacks this fight. It was these guys all go away to the discard pile. Everybody gets some fame. He gets 16 fame up to 49. The knight garners 19 fame up to 49. And then the sorceress gets 25 fame. So she's going to 57. Oh, and now we have a problem that this is too close. These are too close to each other somehow. Um, and so yeah, that was that. Whoa! I mean, that was quite the battle right there. Let me tell you, like that was good actually. Um, I have not seen. So one of the things about the game, which I'm gonna say is disappointing or whatever, it just is, but it is different. Since you can't hire, I don't see a lot of multi fights, right? Whereas in Magic Realm, I think at some point, there is a hiring meta, like especially if you're playing the captain or even the berserker. I think there's a huge bonus to hiring a rogue just to um, to help take some attacks off you and so on, right? And what that leads to, in my opinion, is that's what opens up Magic Realms combat. One on one, well, you sort of know what you play and you play the same thing over and over and over, and that's fine. Whereas more things changes the nature of the combat, fairly meaningfully. And so a 2-on-2 battle or a 3-on-3 battle becomes very interesting. And sometimes you can have, oh, it's the captain and the company versus 18 goblins. And you get this sort of nutty fight. That reminded me of this quite a bit. And so that made me happy. I'm glad that happened. Um, that was pretty fun. All right, so it's day 16 now. Day 16 is guaranteed to not be as fun as day 15. So let's see where we end up. Um, so the rogue's going to go first, followed by the sorceress and the knight. And he's looking for giants. So I think he's going to go 1, 2, 3 for sure because he wants to be the first there, and he wants to get the mountain tiles. And he finds an item. Oh, I keep that on there just to show. And he gets a shield. Woohoo! Okay. I'll put that in my bucket of shields. So yeah. Sorceress is so he's going to, and then he's going to use effectively his. So let me put these back, I suppose, so that I'll remember where they are when I need them. And then he is going to, of course, probably sneak just to make sure that he doesn't get blocked and found. The sorceress had to wound a chip to there. Now, what I don't know is, I'll tell you what I don't know. That's a good question, right? When you are shape-shifted, the caster may choose when a monster cannot be face up. Ignores tactics. Hero fights with chosen characteristics, ignoring their own cubes. Wounds are tracked separately for each of the hero's shapes. What does that mean? I'm going to say that right now she behaves like the monster. Like she's not wounded in dragon form. I don't. Any thoughts on explore mode yet? Do you prefer seeing the whole map up front and planning around it? So it's a good question, Ted. I like explore mode. I like the fact that it exists. For instance, I think it would be great for single player. For right, I think single player the explore mode would make it a little more exciting or cool, right? Uh, so I like it. The other reason I do like it, this is actually even dumber, is it even makes setup simpler, right? You could literally pull this game out, pull the cards out of the trays or whatever, and if you have a monster tray where everything's set up, or the monster tray is already set up, a counter tray, you'd be done. You could start the game, choose characters, and go, right? So I think that's even cooler in that sense. Having said that, um, you know, it makes missions more of an unknown, right? I think though, and I'm not certain. I do think in my back of my head, I'm sort of thinking of, man, you could easily write a nice homebrew expansion that worked that explore mode and did some kind of, you know, weird narrative thing in each of the hexes or whatever. You could probably do something pretty cool with that. Um, or have, where you shuffle in, you have a stack of hexes, and in the bottom five, you shuffle in the important hex, like the keep of the evil dude or whatever, and your goal is to get there in a certain amount of time, and certain things you do can get you rumors of where the evil dude's hideout is, and what that does is you can discard a couple tiles off the top of the deck, right? So if you get a rumor, you can toss a tile, so it brings that bottom five up quicker. You know, I think you could find a way to make something like that with that. So I'm still excited for it. I think generally I prefer this, I believe, because how about this? I prefer this on tabletop sim when I'm playing by myself multiple characters. If I'm playing alone, I might go with that as sort of a, with the explore mode. Or if I'm playing at a table with just a bunch of people, I might go with explore mode also. The other thing it does do is it closes the board a little bit in a weird way, because you're all going to start the same place. So I think in a multiplayer game, it's less enticing to me, or multi-character game, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna say that her drag. I mean, she, like a monster, the dragon's wound goes away. I don't know how that's supposed to actually work. But she's no longer a dragon, so she's um. So what's she gonna do? So her goal is not to do any of that, really. And I think that Death Knight is not a good fight for her. It just is not. It is not a good fight at all. Um, Now, does the chamber have anything left in it? No, the chamber's been sort of rotted out by the rogue. And I think we're really looking for just the last sites in a couple of these places. So let's take a quick look here. All right, so what she's going to do is she is going to move, and that's going to put her here. And she's going to rely on her halflingedness, and she's going to rest. Does she really care? Does it matter? Or should she just sneak? Now I'm going to rest, and I'll rest, and she'll be done. And I think what she's going to do is she's going to enchant to move into this lonely mountains before anybody else can potentially move into the mountains. The knight, let's move his cubes back. I'll tell you what, I still want better missions. I do find the missions a little dull. If that not again, I always hate to diss. But I'm not a big fan of the missions. I mean, I'll take them. You need to do them, but I'm not a giant fan. So we're gonna go fight Treants. So I think what we want to do is, I think I'm gonna rest. So I'm gonna 2 actions of rest to get my cube back. Then I'm gonna move and sneak, and I am done. And that's that. That is what we got here. Let's roll for monsters. We get planes, which we know is going to be nothing, and bones, nothing. So no bones, no planes, nothing appears, and we are done with the day, and it is day 17. Oh, it's the only thing I don't. It's the only thing I don't like about this. Is just there's snaps are sort of odd. Everything's sort of weirdly snappy or not snappy based on what I don't want to happen. It's at the very moment. It's like stop snapping or snap or whatever. Right. The knight is first, which is a little bit of a bummer. But let's see, what is he going to do? I don't flipping know. I think he's going to stay here and wait for these damn treants. Is there only literally one hex where treants can appear? Yeah, I suppose there is a single hex where treants appear. And again, this is one where I'd almost consider maybe you make chits. I hate to say it, but because it just adds to, of course, the a little bit closer, it segs closer to Magic Realm and adds to the time that the setup would take. But I'd almost consider, could these be randomized even? Maybe that's a thing that which happens. I think the knight is going to hide an alert, sneak an alert, pretty much, and make. Oh wait, no, he could. Well, he could make noise, right? Yeah, I'm gonna make noise. He wants to find treants. He's gonna make damn noise. That's probably a terrible idea, by the way. Um, but that is what we are gonna do. Keep in mind, he also has to go to the mine, but he's going to do that. He's going to make noise. He is done. The sorceress is going to spend her 3 phases to enchant. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, she has 1 left. I picked up 2. She is going to flip this tile. So let's unlock it and flip it. And then she's going to take 1 of her cubes. So she's going to take a purple cube, and she puts it on the tile, and now there's purple magic everywhere. I'm going to make this a big cube because I don't want to forget how much purple magic there is here. Wah. Um, so that's 3. And then so now she's a dragon. Poof, dragon. that's that's just how she rolls. She is a dragon. And so interestingly enough, so she now has the weird option if she wants, but I don't need to do this. Well, I might need to do this. The rogue could turn around and screw with her and walk into that clearing and have the option to get that thing first at his. And she is sneaky, although I think she is she sneaky as a dragon? No. All characteristics. The hero fights with the chosen characteristics, ignoring their own. Yeah, strangely enough, it is unclear whether she is still sneaky sneaky like a halfling or not. And this is something. Ooh, darn it! And similarly, I don't know how it works with shapeshift. My guess is it doesn't work with shapeshift. Um, but if she just casts with 2 purple cubes, her fireball, right? But she's not casting with cubes, so we're not even going to go there. So we'll let her sneak. What are we going to do here? I'm going to go 1, 2. So I'm going to move. Then he's going to hide and alert. Sneak and alert. And that's it. And we're all done. So let's roll the monster roll here and see what's what. So first thing is first. We go with the knight first, I believe, right? The knight goes first. Yes, the knight is first. The knight is going to draw 2 giant spiders. So that's sort of fun. I mean, it's not what he wanted to fight, but it's on his space. And nothing else. But I think we have to roll to block the knight now. But the knight is hidden, so he is not blocked. Now, I believe the giant spiders are now going to move to what's her nose. I believe that's what happens. Oh, monsters in a clearing with a hero do not move. If more than one hero is in the tile, all the monsters move to the clearing of the player closest to the start player in turn order. So they would go to the knight and stay on the knight. Done. Okay, that's fine. That makes as much sense as anything else. So they're not moving to her because she's now the second here. They stick right there. Done. Here we got nothing. So it's just the knight. Let's take a quick look here at the knight, and let's just see sort of how the knight feels about this. So that side is very dangerous, right? Because that side there, crushing his crab. These are very similar to the spiders in, Magic Realm Land, where they do tremendous on one side. He only has to do 2 damage to kill the spider. So I would play with the dagger. And I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I sort of cheesed it that, that's sort of cool. It makes this an interesting. He can't fight with both of these, but he can pick one. That's probably a terrible take on that, but I'm gonna live with it. He only has to play 2 to get the best result. So, and frankly, it's 1, 2. That's the best he can do. If he's willing to risk it, which I think he is. So he's going to take this one off of here and go here. He's going to play 1 to defend. But if they flip, he's going to auto kill. Now, mind you, if both of them flip, that's going to so suck. But anyway, that's fine. And he's going to target the first one. Done. Okay? And he plays 3, 1, and 1 effectively. So it's funny because this dagger of bite's great, but strangely enough, for the most part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't help him to play 5 cubes. It would help him if he didn't alert, but alerting is weirdly less valuable in some cases. In this battle, it's less valuable. So let's roll to see if each of these guys flip or does not flip. So ideally, we want the spider we targeted to flip and the other one to not flip. That'd be great. So first spider flips. Second spider flips. So not as great. Having said that, our attack goes first. We do 3 to 2, so that hits. We're going to do 2 and 1 sharp damage. So 3 damage. The spider is dead. We take the fame and move on. That's our attack. Ected from Scott just now. I have poorly worded and will redo. It meant that the hero shape and the shapeshift are separate entities. Current rule do not allow for multiple shapeshifts. Shapeshift is a monster. It means it auto heals the end of combat. There you go. So that makes sense, right? Because I can't see that you would want to track that. You know what I mean? Like that's an awkward tracking. So now the spider goes, and the spider has equal attack to defense. And so this is where you get a little crappy, which could be if he hits, but he misses. Done. Next round. I think we play exactly the same, hoping he doesn't flip. If he doesn't flip, we go first and he's killed. Doesn't flip, he kills him. That's worth 16 points. So that's up to 65 points. Again, fun fight. And I is it possible these are more tense than Magic Realm? I think that is definitely a possibility that you could say that these are slightly more tense. Than their Magic Realm counterparts, in that there's a little more randomness to them, and like I said, there's a wider band of fights that cost you more, right? Or that you can get damaged or killed in. Now that was probably a win for him overall, with maybe a couple wounds. But if that first round, that first spider would have hit him, it would have busted his breastplate and he'd have taken a wound. And then he would have probably auto killed it but there's just a little bit more at play, I think. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But anyway, so that's the day. And now we're moving on to the next day. The knight is first. Oh, and that's true. And we had to roll again because he made noise, right? So we had to roll monsters for just his tile, and nothing appeared. But technically, we roll again. Now, I don't know. Do you roll again if you make noise? Do you roll again even if monsters already appeared, or can you only get monsters in a hex once? Right? Oops. I don't know. Let's read making noise real quick. You may choose to make noise. Um, you place a pink status cube and make noise. After monster activation, but before combat, roll summoning again for each clearing. Contain one or more heroes. Apply the results only to that clearing, ignoring heroes in all other clearings. Doesn't feel like summoning. Each map tile will only activate once, regardless of the number of heroes in the map tile. But I feel that making noise allows me to summon again. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't, right? Once you get monsters, those are the monsters. That actually is a good question, and that is sort of up in the air. Like I can't read those rules either way. Um, anyway, okay. The knight's first. The knight's going to alert and make noise. He is done, actually. So we're going to move to the rogue. And I think the rogue is going to go 1, 2, 3. Just because let's get the woods token out of here. Could be another treasure, right? Have we gotten the other? No, see, there you go. It's the treasure. So it always behooves you with the way that the game is now. Oh my God, did he get another shield? The buckler of deflection, the brooch of deflection. One time use, cancel a hit against the hero. Well, he'll take it and he'll put it on. And then he will sneak. So he moves 3 times and sneaks. He is done. The sorceress, she is a dragon. And I do believe that she's going to. Interesting. So she's a dragon right now, and that means she's a dragon till the end of the day. Which is fine. One, two. She could just 1, 2, and sneak. I don't know that there's any necessary benefit to flying in there. So I think we just walk, walk, and sneak. And done. And we get to draw the mountain tile. And it is the Forgotten City. I believe she gets a widget, a point, and 5 of these. And takes the lead, but now she draws 1 of each. And we flip those. She gets a gate in 6, a site, and she's going to pick up a treasure. So we'll toss the site. Then we got a crypt here. So crypt in 5. Let's set the crypt up, and we get the lich. Man, that does not look good. That lich looks bad for her. Vapor form. Does he vapor form the character or does he vapor form himself? That'd be sort of hilarious. No, he can target it. Oh my god. Okay, well that's interesting. Anyway, and she is done, but she does get a treasure, right? Because she rolled she got a treasure out of that whatchamacallit, so she gets a treasure. It is a spell book. That is, oh my, that is super sexy for her. I'm gonna let her draw 3 spells right now to look, right? 1, 2, 3. And she gets break spells, curse and divination. Now, curse and divination, not super useful. Break spells is certainly learnable. Done. Okay, so that's her move. Oh, and that's it. Okay. So now we roll summoning. We're going to get some orcs and plains. No orcs there. No orcs anywhere, actually. So no orcs. No orcs and no orcs. Plains or nothing. We are done at the moment. Now, the knight has made noise. So he gets treants, 3 of them. oh, well now. Isn't that a thing? 1, 2, and 3. And he has to roll 2 not to get blocked or not. So I have to make a decision. I mean, he's gonna roll to not be blocked, right? He's gonna see, but he's making noise. So he is blocked. And so now he's fighting 3 treants. Okay. So they're slow, which is sort of good. And they have 3 defense, but not. So here's the funny part. Wow, this is a. So here's what he's going to do. He's going to play a quick ring and he's going to play a defense. So that gives him the best possible defense he can against all their attacks. So he's not going to get auto hit by these guys. He only has to play 2 cubes here to auto hit them because they're all slow. And technically, he's alerted, but he only has to play 1 cube here, or he can play 2 cubes. And he's going to play 2 cubes here so that his attack is faster and longer than these attacks. And he's going to target the first guy. So he fights with the longsword. He's playing 2, 2, and 2. That's his 6 cubes that he gets. Well, 6 of his cubes that he gets for alerting. 2, 2, and 2. Done. That's where he is. So, round 1, we check to see if everybody flips or not. So, first treant is his target. Does the first treant flip? No. Second treant, does the second treant flip? Rather not. Nope, he flips. Okay. Third treant, does the third treant flip? No. Okay, so these two do not flip, or this guy flips, he doesn't. They could bust his armor up pretty good this round. If they bust both pieces of armor, he's in jeopardy next round. His attack goes first because he equals their speed and has the longer weapon. And so he's going to kill this treant with 2 sharp damage. Done. He hits, he does 2 sharp damage. Both treants are equal to him, equal to his defense. So all they need is equal symbols or hit symbols. So they have about a 44% chance of hitting. So this could go super wrong, super fast, but the first treant misses. The second treant is also going to miss. I can feel it in my heart. No, he hits. The second treant hits. The second treant is going to do 3 points of damage. So he's going to hit one of these pieces of armor. We're going to have him hit the breastplate. Because he does 3 points of damage, it breaks the breastplate, and that breastplate is gone. It also now wounds the hero. And we're going to take that there because our play does not change. So we can wound one red chip right now. We're now going to target this guy because he is way more dangerous at this moment than the other dude for round 2. Does the top treant flip or not? I'm going to say no, he doesn't flip. Does the bottom treant flip? And I'm sort of hoping it doesn't really matter. He does flip. Okay, so be it. Our attack goes first because it is equal and longer. And we're going to kill him because we do 2 sharp damage, just like before. Like this, he kills a treant a round. It's whether or not the remaining treant smashes his crap or not. The remaining treant does not smash his crap. So he misses. We'll target him. Does the final treant flip? I don't know why I pulled that other die. The final treant does flip. But we're going to beat his time and kill him, and he is dead before he gets to attack. And the knight's going to get 27 points. So the knight's going to end up with 92, right? Done. And he's killed 2 plus treants. He has to complete the mission at the sanctuary. So let's hasten back, right? That's a pretty good. And he can get to the sanctuary. Oh no, well, I mean he can. It's right there. Knight will go first. 1, 2, 3. And then, well, the knight gets an extra. So here's the nice thing. The knight does indeed get an extra. So he goes 1, 2, 3. Those are moves. And he's going to rest for 2 actions because he gets an extra action in a dwelling. And so he's going to rest. And he rest +1 cubes. I do have to pay a little bit more attention because he could, but he only needs 1 cube. So that's fine. But he can be busted up pretty good and heal pretty fast. So we are done with the knight. The next is the rogue. And so the rogue's going to go 1, 2 back, but does he 3? No, I think he's going to. He's going to hide and alert a little because he has to go through this mountain thing to get there. So he's going to move twice, hide and alert. And then the sorceress. I don't yet want a curse. But boy, do I want the fame for learning the one spell, the point for learning the spell. I do want that. I really do. So what I'm going to do is she's going to move. I think she'll sneak. She might as well do it. She might as well learn. Let's learn. We'll do some book learning here. Fails to learn. I think you need 2 learns to succeed. She is done. That's her move. And that's everybody. So now we roll. See what the hell happens here. I think he gets nothing. She gets 2 griffins. Ugh. First off, is she blocked? Probably won't be. Yeah, she's not blocked. Does she want to risk the griffins? So yeah, I don't know about that. Like, um, entering mountains or swamps. We should pay attention to that. I've not paid attention to that. I've not paid attention to claiming titles either, which I really should do that also. And that'll be for next game. We'll figure that out, right? Because those are definitely doable. Like you go to the mine. The rogue could get, I think, this one. We got deep treasures. We got epic treasures. You could, the rogue probably gets 3 points if he goes back to the mine. So here's the danger here. See, those adult dragons are not that tough ultimately. So she's gonna have to hit them. She auto hits on that side, and they auto hit her on this side. So either no one auto hits, or everybody auto hits. If everyone auto hits, I think she's mostly okay. But the worst part is he goes first, so she could totally die here. And again, I suppose I do not. I sort of don't know how ambush would work. Can I ambush as a dragon if I am using the ranged attack? My house rule for right now is no, that because you have to challenge them to choose which side you're on, that you're sort of stepping out. Because if she had a bow, she would just plink these guys. As it stands, she's going to hide, remain hidden, and cast her spell. So that's going to wound this chip for sure. And she's going to cast this spell. And I suppose she fights them. And if it goes really badly, then she's going to die. If this could go fine, or it could go real bad. But otherwise, she's sort of stuck here. Like, she has to back off. So she might as well try the fight. So she's going to cast and be hidden. Does she unhide? She does not unhide. So she still has the option, right? She is dragoned up. And she still has the option. So we'll say she's going to challenge these dudes. They're both on this side. Obviously, she's going to fireball. She's going to target both of them. And we're going to see if they flip or not. Does the first guy flip? No. Does the second guy flip? No. So no one flips. So she doesn't auto hit them. They don't auto hit her. But her attack goes first. So she has the shot now. So she's going to get the first one, and she's going to miss. And then the second one, come on, hit one of them. No, she misses both of them. That sucks. They attack her. First one attacks and misses. Second one attacks and misses. Done. That's round 1. Now, she wounded a chip, I believe. So Right? Or no. Or is that only at the end of the day, effectively? Don't know. I'll have to read that. So I'm going to say no. She doesn't. I think. Do her. So if she has that spell, do her. Let's see. Blah blah blah. Well, she doesn't cast. She actually just energy, right? Yeah. So she is going to what is it? She is going to power magic. Um. So wounded box. So yes, she wounds this chip. She wounds that. She wounds that cube, and she goes in. So this round she did wound. So this is not the first round where nothing happened. She wounded. So we're back to rolling to see whether these guys flip or not. He does not. He does not. She goes first. She's hitting both of them. Misses. She misses. So she misses everybody. The first guy misses her. The second dude hits her. Son of a bitch. Okay. So that's one wound on her. And that stinks a little bit because that makes this a lot dicier. Yeah, that's not much better. Okay, so Griffin, he flips. That's gonna suck a little. And he does not flip. Otherwise, she's actually dead. If they both flip, they both hit her first. This guy's gonna hit her first and wound her. So now she's up to 2 wounds. Now she breathes. She auto hits him. That's a good thing. Oops, I have no idea what I just did. Presumably I have dice selected a lot. He is doing 3 points of damage right now with her 2 and sharp. She does 4 sharp, killing that griffin, and that's done. This griffin now does not hit her. It still sucks, though. We don't want this griffin to flip. If he flips, he's going to kill her. And he does not flip. She has to roll to hit. Did I roll to hit that guy? I don't even know if I rolled to hit him last round. He's going to roll to hit her, and he misses. So that's the first round where nothing happened. He rolls to flip. See, now this gets very dangerous for her. She goes first to hit. And she does. That's great. Oh, she does -2 damage. That's a point of damage. That's going to wound the griffin, but not kill the griffin. Ugh. And it keeps combat going, which sort of sucks. she would be fine with this just going away. Does the griffin flip on her? He does. And I believe that's going to kill her because it's going to do her last point. And she is now dead. Yeah, so that's a rough fight. That dragon is not super strong, really. And it's okay. but it's definitely not like a tremendous armored flying dragon, right? It is a little dicey, and its speeds aren't great. So, all right. I mean, so she's dead. I think she loses like half her fame, and then turns in the rest, and then is quote unquote is retired with 8 points effectively, I believe. And her stuff sits there and so on and so forth. But I think we're gonna sort of call it there. So she died. I think that's good enough. Um, we played for a couple hours. I just wanted to sort of see where this ended up. I think the rogue ultimately wins it. Um, but I think the knight acquitted himself pretty darn well. And I do love the 3-on-7 combat that we had. Again, where the sorceress really, really acquitted herself very well. Um, Thinking about it, so it is sort of interesting, right? Give me 1 second here. So it is sort of interesting. I'll tell you one thing which I find fascinating is that let's say she's not a dragon, right? Let's say she does not. Um, let's say if she's an elf sorcerer, then I think you take Fireball and you use the ability to, if you cast with a single color of magic, the attack speed of the spell goes up by 1. Because again, that is interesting because that you don't have to spend a cube. So you're not using going against your cube limit. And that spell attack would be up to like a 3 attack. I think that wins. And then I would go around enchanting every tile with purple so that it costs 1 less. Um, Now, I don't think you can take a spell you can't cast at the beginning, but I'm not 1,000% certain of that. I'd have to read that. Can you take a spell that you cannot cast with the cubes you have? Because she could cast it if she enchanted, but you can't cast it by default. So I think that's the other thing I would try to figure out. So where's setup? Here we go. Setup. Duh. It's literally at the beginning of the book. That took me way too damn long. Um, it says players should select spells they're able to cast, but it doesn't say they have to. So I would consider, as any type of sorcerer, taking Fireball and using my enchant to then be able to cast it at a time 3, which would hit a lot of things that the dragon doesn't. Having said that, obviously the dragon has the fly ability. That's huge. And, in a lot of ways, it trumps a lot of things in the game. I'll tell you what ruins fly is explore mode a little bit. Because in explore mode, you might have for a long time only a little bit of the board open. And no, it's don't get me wrong, you could still fly from place to place, but it is slowing you down because you're exploring, flying, as opposed to here, where she could just go 1, 2, 3, 4 and end up in the mine. Flying is more powerful in this game than Magic Realm by quite a bit because not only can you go from any hex to any hex fly, any clearing to any clearing flying, but because you can never go into a cave flying, some of these places you know exactly where you're going to land, like the mine, the dark passes, and so on. And I actually think that's strangely more powerful. You know that you're going to land here if you land because you have to. You can, and that's true. You can explore faster from mountain too because you can look into the next areas around you, which is not a bad idea. So anyway, um, I mean, so I had a decent time. I think my only, for as simple as it seems, is good. That is a good feature of this game is combat. It's done fairly well, and I think that it hits a lot of good points. It is a good mechanic for combat. 100% that's a winner. What I don't like is I don't like that a huge number, way too many of these chits are do something uninteresting. Like what there's way too many of these chits that is treasure or it's just a freebie treasure. And so you should immediately run through the woods if you can because you are like there's two treasures and two items in the woods. And the secret cache, which is the best treasure site because you don't have to loot it even. If as long as you find it, you get a bunch of crap. I don't love that. I would love something else in item and treasure. I think that's one thing I would consider trying to mod if I when I buy this game, I'm going to consider what do you do with these? Can you do anything else with this? The only other gripe is I don't find the missions that interesting, frankly. I find the missions to be a little bit dull because a lot of them are bring a package to the next place, kill three things, right? Deliver supplies. Now, the funny part was the first time I played, I thought supplies meant I had to go find supplies. No, no, no. It's just literally this card, right? Deliver body parts. Well, all that means is take this card and walk it to the crown. And though I understand that, I mean that's a lot of quests in games is go here and turn it in. Um, I would love something else, right? I think there's a lot of missed opportunity with the attributes, like my 4 charisma here. Why isn't there a diplomat mission? Meet orcs, and if you can roll your haggle, you can roll under 4, then you get something. You negotiate with the orcs and you win, you get a boon. And if not, they fight you. Done. Right? Something like that. Just even a little, little twinge, a little tweak. I think that would be pretty bitchin'. So I'm gonna think about that. I'm not gonna do anything yet. I still have to play this about probably 2, 3, 4 more times before I'm there. But I do think bringing a little variance in the missions would make me happier. So I do thank you for watching. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts or questions. I'm certainly willing to hang out a little longer. But yeah, but I enjoyed this. I think I have to pay more attention to these because, like I said, I think my boy the rogue here could have easily turned in all 3 of these. Similarly, rewards don't have to be instant money, lasting game effects. 100% Acted. I really, yeah, yep. I agree. I would definitely consider. I mean, not not to. I'm going to say not to be a one note guy here or whatever, but I am a little bit in this case. I would like to at least think about bringing some of the variant that I play in Magic Realm, where you have a bunch of quest rewards and they do things typically. I would consider bringing something like that here. And I would consider something akin to events here. Instead of treasure, this is a something happens. And one of those things might be you learn of a treasure somewhere, but I don't think it would just be take a treasure because you walked into this, right? I just don't think I would do that. I think I would, start something, do something, make it an event, a random event, and then you draw from an events card or whatever, and you get a card, and it's like, oh, um, geez, giants are attacking the sanctuary or whatever, right? Undead are attacking the sanctuary. Put 3 undead on each of these clearings, and you have to clear them out. That kind of something like that, right? And then let the players do that. So, but I'm I'm mildly impressed. How's that? I'm impressed. Like I think it's a good game. I think if you if I'd never played Magic Realm for 10 years or 30 years, hold on, not 10 years. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. So here's what we haven't seen, Ected. So Ected said, I don't know how it would work, but something's hunting you. You have to build up your character so you can face it. Well, again, so keep this in mind. This is pretty interesting, and it's a feature of this game that I think is good. And you could do this in Magic Realm. You have the Book of Quests. You could make something similar, and the scenarios will support that, right? So, as a for instance, um, so did you, Acted? Have you ever played or seen Barbarian Prince? Do you remember that game back in the day? So, and while you answer, because I know there's a delay, in the broadcast. Well, you could do something like that, right? Where it is so Barbarian Prince. You've been overthrown by your uncle, right? Your uncle overthrew your dad. He kicked you out of the kingdom, and now he's chasing you down to kill you. He didn't really kick you out. You escaped. Um, and then you have to go and collect X amount of money or X amount of fame or whatever, right? And that's what you have to do to raise a mercenary army to go take your lands back. In the meantime, every time you turn over one of these and it's a treasure or an item, maybe that's an event pertaining to your, right, barbarian princedom, and those could be bounty hunters. Maybe some bounty hunter stacks appear, and those bounty hunter stacks move every day and they chase you down. Or maybe, right, something like that. Or maybe one of the events is it turns one of these against you. Your usurper uncle whispers into the night leader's ear, and then these guys start chasing you down, moving just like a character would move. Maybe with a little bit of randomization, right? So, as a for instance, I could easily see rolling. I wouldn't do the haggle die because it's sort of slanted down, but you could easily figure out you know, oh, they can move 3 today. Okay, they'll move 1, 2, 3. They don't draw monsters. Maybe they're not even impacted by monsters. Something like that. I could totally see that. In fact, strangely enough, I think this game, because it's a little looser, I think, a little loosey goosey in some of the things that it does, I think maybe this game is more suited for sort of those wacky scenario based play than even Magic Realm is, right? Because in Magic Realm, there's not a lot of Magic Realm's mechanics are very tight, but there's nothing outside of those mechanics. Whereas here, as a for instance, again, I have these stats. I am fascinated by these stats because I think it's a nice way to do it, right? And you go, okay, you're the human knight playing this scenario. Well, you have an option now, and one of your options is to go to one of these places and turn these guys. Maybe that's one of the things you have an opportunity to turn these guys for you Um, and that adds to your army points or whatever to determine victory conditions. I think there's a lot of options here, and again, I think we're gonna have to see sort of where the scenarios go, and I'll bet you in a year or two you have a lot of variation. I think this game might have a little leeway for that. So yeah, I don't know. So I'm very interested. Still interested. That's good because I just blew a bunch of money kickstarting the damn thing once I played it. So I better still be interested. Damn it. um. So yeah, I don't know. How are you feeling, Ted, about the game? Do you have any thoughts after seeing this a couple times, or I'm sure you've done you played a couple of these. Like where are you at? Yeah, I could, like I said, I could definitely see. Came on late, 50-50 on the Kickstarter starter, rushing to decide. Huh. I mean, one nice thing, to be honest with you, at some point these are going to be on an eBay or rather a secondary market. Now, hopefully, like if someone's going to get this and be disappointed, that's invariable with any game. You're going to see them. I mean, the other thing to do, of course, would be to see if any game store or retailer near you is willing to contact whatever Mr. B Games and get a couple copies in, and then that gives you a little bit of leeway deciding. I have never kickstarted a board game. Well, I've never kickstarted anything because I don't really believe in buying things that I'm not going to get necessarily. um, Aside from congressmen, I mean, totally buy those guys. but yeah, like um, I'm not a big fan of the hey, I pledged, and a year and a half later we still haven't gotten anything, and who the hell, right? I mean, you are very much at the whims of Now, mind you, this is has a little bit of publishing cachet. Mr. B Games, I believe, has had many successful Kickstarters, so I'm not as worried about that. But the idea has never appealed to me, if that makes any sense. And this one, I'm like, you know what? I think this game would be good with all the things. So let's order the all the things and hope that as many stretch goals as possible get hit, and and that I'm going to get as many of the things that and I think this game benefits from the bits and the expansions and so on. I think the more I think is more variation. Yes, upfront. I hear you. Are you talking about upfront the card game? Because if you kickstarted upfront the card game, then sir, you are a wonderful individual. um, I didn't even know that. But did upfront have? Is that a thing, or am I just reading into that? Upfront Kickstarter. Hold on. Upfront the card game. So what happened there? Did that come out? Did that happen? Upfront the card game. $339,000 and 2407 backers. I never played up front. I always liked the idea of a card game which that abstracted, small arms tactics, right? Squad tactics. I think that's fascinating. I think I always thought that that would be interesting to get the game and see it, um, and take some of those ideas and put it into tabletop RPGs. So, you know, um, because once you get into sort of modern sort of games or futuristic games, then you're you, there's no reason you would necessarily be fighting 3 meters away from someone or 6 meters away. Now you might be, of course, and a lot of gunfights, technically by the FBI statistics, a lot of gunfights do happen at close range, and 90+% of the shots miss, never hit anything. But if you were doing like a mercenary or a military campaign, like a Traveler or a Twilight 2000 or something like, or a game like that, then it would sort of be interesting. Maybe you could abstract some of that terrain and so on into something like an upfront. That's sort of a lot of my interest in that, but that's sort of a niche interest, for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think the question from me to you is sort of, what is your hesitancy? Um, where are you still? I would absolutely never. I would certainly never push this in the sense of, I don't. Everyone has their own preference and their own sort of mental model of what they're looking for games. And heck, I've even thought of that today. I was thinking, you know, is this game ultimately going to disappoint me because it's not as futzy as Magic Realm? Because somehow a 17-page game can never bring me as much joy as a 137-page game. um, because I do think that's part of the nostalgia for Magic Realm, or the joy that people have, is that it cost them a fair bit of effort to learn the game, and there is a serotonin dump, right? Kind of thing. Um, Deal breakers. Interesting. I don't know. That's a good question. That is an interesting question. I don't know what's a deal breaker for you. I think a lack of choice, like Talisman, is a deal breaker because it's stum, right? There's no choices turn to turn. Um, I think a I think the combat is a plus for me, so that absolves that. I think I don't see any deal breakers that I don't think I can fix for my own table, if that makes any sense. Do you know what I mean, Ekdad? I think that looking at the game, I go, yeah, I bet you I could make something out of this that fits where I'm at. Like I would probably, so I'm going to get this big box. I'm going to invite all my Magic Realm friends over. So my three sons will play with me, and my daughter will play if she's home. I got two buddies that'll play, three buddies that'll play. I mean, obviously, you can't play this all at the same time because there's not that as many spots, so to speak. But I'll get as many of those together as I can, and we'll play it 2 or 3 times. And yeah, free treasure is, yeah, that is my least. That's my least favorite thing so far. I just I think those chits are a lost opportunity somehow. We have to have something else going on, but I do understand why. I think so. Here's something to think about. Um, the one thing I did, and I think this has the same problem, but I don't think it's as egregious here. One thing I don't like about Magic Realm, which a lot of people consider a feature, I'm on the wrong side of history. I totally understand. I don't like the victory conditions. I think the victory conditions in Magic Realm, as written, are boring. Um, I don't think add much to the game, really. You could have, and I like these better because they're just simpler. It's just okay. You get points for doing shit like that you're gonna do anyway, and it's largely who does the most shit, pretty much. Um, and Magic Realm has, oh, we're gonna choose and you do spells and you do this and you get the thing, and I'm like, that's a lot of. I get it. You can tailor your game to what you do best, and that's fine. But but there's just a meta for each character, really, and that's what you do. And so again, that's the one thing in Magic Realm that I'm like, I needed to change, and so we so wrote a thing to change those victory conditions. Um, I think the victory conditions here are also boring, but like I said, it's very straightforward, and largely it comes down to a race to do the things. Now, I suppose my original point. I'm sorry, that was a tangent. My original point was the one thing about so I have a whole variant, and you have quest cards, and you play the quest cards, and you go run around the game, and it's a lot like questing the realm is in realm speak. But what it does do, and so this is sort of an interesting point, is I do feel that it changes the game significantly. It's not that you just made the victory conditions somehow better or slightly more interesting, but the game stays the same. I think the one thing which I don't mind, but it could be but it is a little bit of a flaw if you're a purist, is that when you play with the variant with the quests, then the Magic Realm game becomes about the quests. And not doing the quests then is harmful for you. Whereas in original Magic Realm, it's no, Berserker, you do you. You go to the mountains and you kill giants, or you go in and you kill right. And the dwarf's like, no, man, you go to the caves and you loot shit. And that's how you. Now, don't get me wrong, you can use that in the quest game and do that too. But I think that it's changes the game where a lot more of the game is running around to do these tasks. And so I do. Whereas I think treasure and item are boring, they're very safe. They don't change the game. Whereas if you added events or added something else to these, that it would have changed the basic nature of the game. And it's pretty safe to release it in this state without and not change the nature of the beast, and then let idiots like us go, well, I don't like that, so let me do this other thing, or leave it to scenarios to change the game, right? The base game, it's a treasure. In the other game, you go, well, if you draw a treasure, you don't pick a treasure. Instead, you roll on this table and something happens, as a for instance. So I think ultimately that's what you're going to see, stuff like that get thrown in. Um, Same thing, right? I mean, I have swamp, and there are no swamps or plains. Um, well, we could use those to do events for now, stuff like that. So, all right. Well, that was a decent evening. I said I'm going to give the rogue the win. I do think though that the knight did pretty well, and yeah, he would definitely go. Um, and I have no idea sort of what this means in terms of, so you pay 40 gold and then presumably you've killed. I have to go read the title rules, I suppose. But that would give him 3 points if he had, but he didn't have the gold to do it. um, whereas the rest of these guys did. So, all right. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Gus, of course, always good to see you. Ected, I'm happy to see you, and I love talking board games. If you're ever around and you want to chat about some games, feel free. At least leave me a note and tell me if you ended up what you decided at the end of all, because you have 3 days left. So I suppose you're going to have to, you're gonna catch that last couple days and make that call. But I'd be interested to know where you fell and what was your deal breaker if indeed you decided to not kickstart it. So otherwise, we have a Skyrim video coming out tomorrow, so I got that queued up, and we will of course continue. And I'm getting close to the end of this one, and I think I might just end it. And otherwise, I think we'll start one more of these this week and play this, and sort of stick on this for a couple more days. And maybe next week I'll actually start something else. Right? I'll be done with Skyrim. I'll probably be done with this for the time being, and then what? And then I'll have nothing. I'll have nothing left. I'll have no games. It'll be time to look for a new game. And people have said Cyberpunk 2077 and Stellaris. Maybe we play some Cyberpunk 2077 and Stellaris. Maybe we play some Magic Realm to sort of compare. So we'll figure that out. All right. Thanks a lot. I will talk to you guys later. Please have a good night. And that's it. Good night.